right? So you can walk away, you don't have to be sitting on it. And then, oh, okay, time to go. We just bump it up. Ready?
Yeah. Oh!
And then off you go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to AC Auto Parts. Hey, I've been working on my old buddy Rat Rod over here, and I've got all the internals painted. We've got it running back on its own again because I blew the whole thing apart last week, and now it's back together and working. But it is finally time to go ahead and get this airbag system working on its own as well, instead of running off of my airline here in the garage. I've been extending some wires over the last couple of hours, and it's now time to do number 2. But before I do that, I figure I'll bring you all in, see what this kit includes, show you what I've been up to, and hopefully by the end of this video, this thing is functioning on its own air ride system. I did go out and buy a kit from airbagit.com. I'll put the link in the description for them. This is completely unsponsored. I paid for it. I'll show you what that kit includes, and fingers crossed, I can get it to work. So that's today's video. So first things first, it's all painted. Looks way better. And then I've got my converter in there. I put an oversized fuse panel in because this air ride kit has a lot of different positive and negative connections. But everything in here is all set, ready to go. Battery is bolted in. Got 4 bolts in that. I'm not going to mount the charger. We'll still keep it like this, as we saw in the last video with this thing. But the air pump is bolted in. The air tank is bolted in. That is the air tank that came with the kit. It's a 3-gallon kit. I added this little side because there is one port on this that's not going to be used. So if we're out somewhere and somebody's got a flat tire, might be able to hook right into that. Put any type of airline in it, whether you're just blowing air or whatever you want to do. But I've got all the wires ran in this. They're coming up to the dash. I still have to make a dashboard, but so far what I've got up here is the key switch, the Vitas controller, and here's the battery screen. Underneath, all of that has been painted. Looking pretty good. That's where everything is bolted in now with the air tank bolted through. All of my control arms and such are painted now. All that's looking pretty good. I'm gonna have to build some sort of covering here. I have some plastic. I'm going to want to cover that. I'm not going to want to be looking through the wheel there, so we'll have to work on that. Air shocks are in, but I have to obviously hook up the reel lines, which I'll show you all in a second. I have the cover on it, but that Navitas motor is back in. So that's the status of what we got here. Pretty satisfied with my paint job. This is the original mat that was in this thing. Cleaned it up, and that's what we've got going on here. And I have some, I'm just going to do a rubber mat in there. I'm going to put the original dash in here. I don't think we'll cover all of that today, but I do have a plan. We're going to have a panel here and a panel here. So far from the airbag kit, what I have installed is this chrome pump. This is bolted in. I've got the pressure sensor right there. It came with the solenoid here. That's hooked up. I know, it's a relay. But it's also called a solenoid / relay in those horrible instructions that came with this kit. So, relay. And for when I say it again here in a second, solenoid, it's a relay. I remember. By the way, future wiring. Looks better, right? And then again, I'm just going to this fuse panel. This fuse panel doesn't come live until I cycle the key. And then I didn't put a solenoid in this specifically because if I'm going to be leaving it, I'll just turn the battery off with this particular application. The instructions for this, takes a minute to figure out. But those are going to be all the up and down switches. So that's quite a few ends I have to put on. goes into the end of the distribution block. And then I've basically just been following this along as best we can. The only one I don't know what to do with right now is the yellow wire sent to switch box. I got to figure that out, this is the wiring harness that all the switches will be attached to. That's going to clip into this. So I just have to hook up power, positive, negative. The switch box is going to mount right here. Or not switch box, the distribution box. I'll show you that right coming up here. So I started running some of the pieces in with Teflon tape. Here's all the other pieces I've got to put in. Now these were not included in the kit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these as 90s. And they're going to come out of here and go underneath. So we'll see that once I get going. But I've got to try to do a bit of a dance to get all of these tight in there because they do hit each other as you go through from right rear, front right, front left, rear right rear. Is that what that is? Yeah. So those are labeled so I know how to send the hose. These are the electrical connections that then go into this side. So we got to Teflon tape those up and get those in. Here's what I'm going to use to connect to the Monroe air shocks. I got these extender things on Amazon. I actually saw Ryan Fenner's video from years ago where he was using these for, I think, a truck application. And then these will go here. The hose, actually, I should set up my camera here. The hose is sitting right there. I got plenty of hose. It's enough to do a car. And then I did grab these quick connectors off of Amazon in case I want to do a 90 or there's a tight corner I need to make. So these are available. They are push connect, so you are able to push the hose in. And when you pull that back out, the hose pulls right out. So I assume these are all going to be airtight. But this is my first air ride kit ever doing it. So you're coming along with me. So this is the control panel they send with it. Right? I want to put the gauges in my dashboard. We're going to use the original dash. I have to build something to hold those with. And these are, again, the switches, but they're super tiny. And I'm going to try to use these. Now, these are a little bit different in that they go up, they click up. So that's going to be what I'm going to wire that in as air ride down. And then when you unclick it, it centers. And then to air up, it's one of these switches. So I'm going to put those in a row by my leg. And then you'll be able to just hit all of these down and hop off the cart and it'll air down as you walk away from it. So that's my plan at least. So we'll see if we can make that work. So these are the wires that go to the back of the gauges. And then these plug into that thing that's going into the distribution block. So this is what those look like out of the kit. And to get this from the distribution block to the front of the cart, I've had to extend it. So that's what I've been extending. So this is the length of those. Just got to extend that. There's 3 wires in each run. And then this side has a power ground. And then this is for lights. So we got to get this on its own little flip switch so the gauges, I guess, light up at night. There might be like a surround or something on them. Because here's your power and ground for the gauge. And then all these go to the other side. Ta-da! Little update. I've been rolling those in tape. I've got this in. That's bolted in now, solid. So that's where your wiring is going to plug into. And then all of those little ends are now in here. So I'm going to put those ends there. And I'm going to start running air lines this way. Tom, Edwin, and Mike came over last night. Ended up taking this out on a little trail ride. Oh shit, look at this. Yeah, we're gonna try. Uh-oh, here we go.
Oh, it's not tires.
Oh,
Sign them up.
she's through, baby.
Oh, put a little butter on it.
That's it. Put a little butter on it. She slipped through. We've got a. Tom took a little bit of a clip of that. I got some cleaning up to do. It happens. I have the light out because I was worried about this. Part of the trail got tight and I was rubbing up against a tree. Looks worse in person. But that's okay. All right, back to work on this. I'm gonna wrap those guys up. These will be going into the air shocks. And I think we'll start running some of our 3/8 line that came with this kit. I just wrapped up putting the airlines in for the rear. I'll show you that in a second, but I wanted to show you these things. So this, these are actually quick connects, which is very good and forgiving. The metal ones don't pop in and out as easy as these plastic ones, of course, but they do come out. Yeah. Okay, and the plastic ones are even better. They pop in, push on that. So thank God they're forgiving, otherwise I'd already be out of these. This is the only spare metal one I have. And then I went through this amount of line. I've been cutting it. It cuts pretty easy with some nippers like this. And that's it. Whoop. Let me show you what it looks like in the cart. Well, there's one side. Let's put a little elbow here. Going that way. This is the one that's running to the left rear. And then when I pop under, there they are. So, pretty well hidden. Switched gears for a minute here, and I wanted to check out what my little panel might look like. So that's what I'm working on here. I'll share with you guys what we did. But I got that PVC kind of plastic board. Cut a chunk of that out. And this is my switch panel that's going to go like right under your knee, basically. I don't know how I'm going to mount it yet. I have an idea, but we'll see. But this is what that looks like. So I still have all the, you have all the rubber covers that'll go over that. So then when you go to air down, you'll just be able to go flip, and all of those will air down. And then to air up, and then obviously forward and reverse. So this is just vinyl wood sticker, fake. This was my template. And then this is the board, right? It's got textured plastic on the other side. So we could have done it just textured plastic. I did it on the smooth side so I could get this vinyl sticker to work. So, you know, we're going 80s theme. I don't know what border I might do. I might do like a stainless theme or something like that. I'm not sure yet. But here, let's take a look at where that is going to go. So that's the plan. So my other intention, this is the original dash. I scraped the sticker off. I'm going to put that same wood style sticker here. So that'll be there. I think we'll probably have some light switches here. I got to keep them up high because down low, this is against the metal dashboard that's already there. But the intention is I'm going to cut some of this stuff out, and I'm going to make another one of those plastic plates, put this over it, and I'll have the gauges here, the key switch here, And maybe over here on this side, we'll do like 2 light switches or something. Okay, air lines in the front are done. They're running down under there like that. Let's go underneath. So they're coming through here, up. So they should all be hidden by that wheel. But everything's pretty much buttoned up underneath this thing. I'm done. So not too bad from what it was, I'll tell you that. You guys go back and look at that original video of this thing. Underneath is pretty good to go now. All right, truth be told, it's now a week later. I was away for work last week. It's Sunday. I spent Saturday extending those wires, getting this loom ready to go in the cart. So here we are. This is both of them. I extended that other side. I'll get you guys in and show you what we did there. And then the other thing I did yesterday was make my other dashboard piece. So we're going to have the gauges, ignition, and then this is going to be on off for the light that's going to be inside the gauge, hopefully. So now what I have left to do is run this in the cart. I got a couple other things to show you here. And what else did I do? Finished up the inside of the dashboard here. So I did that kind of stuff yesterday. I didn't record any clips of that. Let me show you that real quick. All right, so here's a power wire going to the switches, because that's what the wiring diagram calls for. It wants center to have power. I'm only wiring up one for now as a tester, because I'm just a little nervous that those switches aren't going to work. And I have to cut all that out for the originals. Where'd they go? Here's the original display thing that they sent with those little switches. Just thought they were small. So I'm wiring up the same way that they would have had these, and I'm hoping that these switches, run the same. They're just, So we'll make sure that that happens before I go wiring up all the rest of them. Inside this harness, so we're all done. This is going to be power from the fuse panel, and this will go to the other side of the switch for the light. It's supposed to light up. The gauge is supposed to light up. So these will be this for the gauge lights. Then that comes down to here. I have to have a positive and negative for each side. So we'll wire these together and put those in the fuse panel. And then this is the one that goes into the fuse panel for the lights. And then these are just going to go into that junction block. I have them labeled a little bit just for left side, right side. We might end up having to move these around a little bit because I don't know which is going to be which. And when I look at the gauges, here's my gauge pod. I want this to be left front, left rear, right front, right rear. So we might have to move those around a little bit here to make sure we get everybody correct. Otherwise, that should be it. So we're going to see if this thing works here in a second. So let me get that loom run. I'm going to run it in the floor up into here. Oh, this is the other thing I did. I'm putting this little mat in there. That's all we're doing. I'm going to run this guy here. And then I'm still deciding what I want to do with this. So we'll see. I might try to replicate this angle and just put it right next to it. And just have this closed off. So, and again, this is that piece of plastic. Cut out some holes, put some taper on it. We're going to make a surround, so it's not just going to be like that. That's when I wish I had a 3D printer, because that would have helped out. But it matches down here. I'm going to do the same type of thing down here. But for today, let's just see if we can get this to operate on its own. I've got power from the switches. This is power for this. I combined the two. Got those into one. The negatives up here. Oh, I need to put some fuses in before we throw this. Okay, 1 second. I think I'm going to put some small guys in there as far as not a lot of amperage. 15, 5. That's what we want. We want a bunch of 5s. I assume once we throw the key, the pump is just going to come on, because that powers up and there's no switch for that. So this is just going to be something that's on when the key is on. So that's it. I'm going to throw the battery and we're going to turn the key and see what happens. I haven't done this yet. Battery. Okay. Nothing. Cool. Like legit nothing. Okay, I'm going to try this again. What I did was I went out and got a 5-pin relay rather than that 4-pin that came, because the numbers are different on the 5-pin than they are the 4-pin. So theoretically, I think I should have it wired up now correctly. So let's flip the battery on. Oh, battery is on. Okay. Throw the key and see what happens here. And nothing's happening again. Did the fuse blow again? Yep. Fuse blew again. Okay, so now I have something else wrong. Well, I don't know what's going on there, but this does work. Look at this. Look at that. So that's cool. It appears that we're good there. And I hear the relay clicking on and off. It's obviously blowing that fuse. And that is a 5 amp. So this is that airbag it one, right? So it's a 4-pin, and that says 87. So I just put the 30 on that one. So that's why I went out and grabbed a 5-pin, because the 5-pin more matches the instructions. So I have all that correct. Now I just realized I didn't even see it. It's so small. 25 amp, 15 amp. I've got a 3 amp in there, so that's why it's blowing it. So we're going to go find a 25 amp. I've got a whole bunch, but guess what I don't have? A 25, of course. So we'll go find some stuff. Find one. I have the 15 in there already. And this is a mess, and we'll clean this up. I want to get the system working, but I need my 25 over there. All right, I'm just going to stick a 20 in here, and we'll see what happens. Or I did stick a 20. All right, it's on. Have to clean all this up. Okay, let's shut off. See what happens when I... Oh, the gauges are working over here. 97. So I'm just going to click this down. Dropping right out. Oh, look at that. Quickly. I can hear a little bit of hissing. And I have this backwards, so we'll have to fix this. But those come on a little bit more. Then watch, I'm going to hit the left front up. Jumps quick. I'm not really sure why those are having a reading, but I'm just going to hope once we get some power there, it'll start doing something. All right, I don't need all this length, so we'll cut this to fit. We'll get our forever fittings here and get all the switches hooked up, and we'll get it on the ground and test it out. That was fun. I'll heat shrink those, but down. It is working. I had to, that's been sitting at 86 for a few minutes. I had to come back around. I had a pretty big leak back here. I had to redo that fitting. I actually changed one of the fittings for the left rear, and now I seem to be okay. We'll have to come back around here and close things off. But I'm just gonna hit the left front up. Right rear up. So I might have a little bit of a leak in the right rear. So I have a feeling I'm gonna chase that a little bit, but let's throw the wheel on it and put it on the ground. Okay, what are we at? I'm at 51, 83, 77, 84. So the idea was hit all these down and she should go down. Let me put some more weight on it. Oh, I thought it would dump faster than that. Here we go. Yeah, 90, there was 90 pounds in it, and that's probably too much. It really only needs like 30. Are we down? Oh yeah, it's down. There, I put the seat board in there and sit on it. Ooh. So that's in the fronts are 49. I got too much in that. So what happens when you just let the air out of one. This is supposed to be the left front. So there's 14 pounds in the left front. Now there's 0, and there's still 60 in the left front, or the right front. Let it go back up. It's supposed to be dumping. Okay. Oh, I see what it was doing. Oh, it flies up. Well, it works. All right, so without me on it, hopefully it drops to the ground. Come on. This is why I put those switches in it, so that it would just, you could walk away from it. Well, she works on its own. All right, y'all. Well, thank you for watching. Air ride's done. Sort of. We still got to get our mount panels done. We're going to get a seat in. We'll get this windshield going on this. And so there's a little bit more to do, but the air system is done. I might have to chase after a little couple leaks, but we'll see. Maybe it'll eventually set itself in. So we'll let it sit for a few minutes. This kit, this from Airbag, I did have to call and ask for additional fittings, which they did send me free of charge, which was good. We had one bad fitting here in the back that I couldn't get to seat with air, and I changed it to that one extra that I had. Glad I had that one extra, and it calmed down. So that's changed. The kit came with these ones, which it's like a little T fitting. I'm not exactly sure what I was supposed to do with this one. And I would have liked for some better wiring instructions, truthfully. I am a novice at this stuff. I am by no means a wiring expert. So it did take me a little bit of time to figure out, and a call to them a few months ago. I took some notes. But it looks like everything is functioning. I'll get the correct fuse in there at 25. There's a 20 in there now. So we should be good there. And I will button up my dashboard stuff, and the cart will be back. But it's going to be a little while. I have a couple of projects coming up that we got to get to, but I did want to get this thing able to survive on its own. So thank you again for watching. I'll catch you all on that next one. We'll see you.